If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question, what are some sad truths about being an introvert with social anxiety? Answer by Maria Cruz. People rarely seem to understand that it's not personal. One of the biggest hurdles of being a socially anxious introvert is that anxiety isn't really seen as a legitimate mental illness. I think a lot of people still dismiss it as something that can be overcome with a can-do attitude or remembering that everyone gets nervous sometimes. Introversion isn't really seen as a legitimate reason to be alone either. You're labeled as a shut-in who doesn't interact with others or that weird girl who doesn't talk to people. What really happens is that I need time to myself. Like, a lot of it. I need to be alone with my thoughts simply because I enjoy the solitude or because my anxiety gets the better of me most of the time. It's difficult to explain anxiety to people who think that the mental illness is synonymous with the butterflies you get before a big date or a presentation. I feel the need to cancel quite a bit and I know that I'm a flake. I wish I wasn't, but my anxiety is a constant part of me. It controls my thoughts quite often and even been known to stay inside my home because I'm too scared to leave the house. It's hard to express that to people who dismiss you as someone that doesn't play well with others. I also hate meeting new people. It's horrifying for me. I'm worried the entire time about sounding like an idiot or how foolish you'll look if I accidentally do something wrong. Did I say the right thing? Do the right thing? Am I smart? Funny? Boring? What happens if I stumble over my words? If I say something the wrong way? They'll hate me forever. Trying to explain to people that my need to cancel stems from my own irrational fears has been very difficult over the years. You're often dismissed as someone who can't be invited anywhere or as someone people feel they need to tiptoe around. I just need the time to myself. Sometimes I don't need the time, but my anxiety binds me to fear. It's not personal. I don't hate you. I'm just very scared all the time and like being by myself. Answer by Sakshi Srivastava. I suppose you are alluding to the disorder SAD and not a subjective human emotion that is universal. People really do not get the difference between normal healthy social anxiety and a mental illness. Also, introversion and SAD are mutually exclusive terms. While former is a personality type, the latter is a mental disorder. For a person who is both an introvert and has SAD, it's like a double whammy. Of course, my opinion is colored by my own experiences. I really think that we struggle to distinguish between whether what I am feeling is a part of my introvert nature or a result of fear of social situations. Like if I am invited to a party, I decline because I would be overstimulated in that environment. I would be perfectly happy staying at home. This is my introvert nature. Now, if I decline, though I really want to go, because I am afraid that I will not know what to say or I will end up making a fool of myself, then this is my social anxiety. I won't be happy at home, instead would be ruminating over the fact that what people will think about me, what they must be saying, what I will say to the person who invited me, the next time I see them, etc. So the determining factor is fear. Of course, most situations aren't so clear-cut. The lines get blurred. The case is bad, especially because for other people introversion, shyness, nervousness, social anxiety are one and the same thing. If you say that you have SAD, then most likely they will chalk it up to your introvert nature. Some drawbacks of being an introvert with SAD are: you will find it very hard to convince people of your capabilities. You will be interpreted as rude, abrasive, insensitive, arrogant. You will have a smaller circle of people whom you can depend on. In case of situations in which interpersonal communication might benefit you, you will be at war with your anxiety that pulls you in the opposite direction. You will be hyper-aware of your surroundings at all times, especially in a social situation. It will prevent you from actually focusing on or enjoying activities which would have been perfectly fine, were it not for your anxiety. Trying to make people understand that you are not a slacker. Your fear is the driving force behind most of your actions. Valiantly trying to live up to others' expectations and constantly falling short of them. Extremely low self-esteem. Catastrophizing at all times. Complex intimate relationships. You try your best to not hurt the other person's feelings, but you do it anyway. Anxiety is a pain like that. Guilt complex the size of Texas. Being labeled as weak, incompetent and not having the guts to speak up. The above points are by no means applicable to all. But in general, introversion mixed with untreated SAD makes it worse. Asking for help is a big issue and accepting help is even bigger. Answer by Vic Marshall. People see you as creepy or weird. I am both an introvert and have SAD. I can't tell you how many times I've been told I'm weird, because I don't like to talk, or I like to be by myself. Apparently if you are a loner nowadays, you're a creep. That is the sad truth, to be honest. At least for a 16 years/0 in high school.